Everyone laughed when the millionaire pointed at the homeless man and said, "Translate this, and I'll give you $1 million." The man lowered his eyes, hands trembling, until he opened his mouth. When the first perfect sentence came out, the room froze and the millionaire's smile vanished. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment where in the world you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. Look at that, outside the rope. He's staring at the cake like it's the moon. Alex Sterling pointed with his chin. His friends turned. There, on the other side of the thick red rope, a boy stood in the shadows. The boy was small and thin. He wore a dirty brown coat too big for him. His eyes were fixed on the towering dessert table inside the Beverly Hills Hotel ballroom. "Probably never seen real food before," one friend said, and a few others chuckled. Alex felt a familiar restless boredom. The party was perfect. The music was right. The lights from the giant chandeliers sparkled. Everyone was here, but it was also empty. He needed a laugh, a real one. His eyes landed on the big screen behind the stage. It showed a single line of elegant, curling script for the charity event. "What even is that?" he asked loudly. "Some ancient quote for the theme. Looks fancy, doesn't it?" a woman beside him said. An idea clicked in Alex's mind. It was mean. He knew it was mean. But the laughter of his friends was a drug, and he needed a hit. He turned back to the boy outside. "Hey, kid!" Alex shouted over the music. The boy flinched. His eyes darted up wide and scared. He took a half step back. "You! Yes, you!" Alex said, grinning. He waved the boy closer. The boy didn't move. A security guard started walking toward him. No, it's fine," Alex called to the guard. He looked back at the boy. "I've got a deal for you. You see those words?" He pointed to the big screen. "You tell me what that says. Translate it for me. And I will give you—" He paused for effect, his smile growing. $1 million. The laugh burst from his group immediately. It was loud and cruel. They all turned to watch the poor hungry child struggle with a joke he couldn't possibly understand. The boy, Leo, felt his heart beat in his ears. The lights were too bright. The laughing faces of the rich people were like a wall. He wanted to run. He looked down at the polished floor. But then he looked at the screen. He knew those shapes. He knew the words. His mother's voice was in his ear, soft and patient, teaching him in a room that smelled of old books. He looked back at Alex. The man was still smiling, waiting for the punchline. Leo's voice was quiet, but strangely clear in the space around them. It says, "A thread of kindness is never broken." The laughing didn't stop. Someone yelled, "What was that? Speak up, boy." Leo took a small breath. He didn't speak louder. Instead, he spoke differently. The next words flowed out, smooth and perfect, but in a different musical language. "A thread of kindness is never broken." A few people near the front stopped laughing. They looked confused. Leo continued, the same meaning again, but now in a language that sounded like Rolling Stones. Then again, in a language that was soft and precise. He kept going. His eyes were not on the people anymore. They were looking at a memory, language after language, 9 in total. The silence spread like a stain. It swallowed the laughter whole. By the 5th language, the entire grand ballroom was quiet. Every person stared at the small boy in the dirty coat. The last word hung in the air. Leo finally looked up. He looked right at Alex Sterling. Alex's smile was gone. His face felt hot, then cold. He saw the shock on every face around him. He saw the genius in the boy's tired eyes. A heavy, sick shame filled his stomach, so strong he thought he might be sick. He had tried to make a fool of a child who was smarter than anyone in the room. The security guard moved again, hand out to push Leo away. "Don't," Alex said. The word came out sharp. He stepped forward toward the rope. He felt everyone watching him. Where did you learn that?" he asked, his voice cracking. Leo looked at the floor again. He wrapped his arms around himself. "My mother taught me," he whispered, "before she went away." He turned then, and he walked quickly into the dark of the night, leaving a room full of stunned people behind. Alex stood frozen. The quote on the screen seemed to burn behind his eyes. "A thread of kindness is never broken." He had just snapped his in front of the whole world. He didn't know it yet, but a phone in the crowd had recorded everything. The silence in the room was not an end. It was the quiet before a storm that would tear his life apart. And the boy, Leo, was already disappearing into the dangerous dark. holding secrets that powerful men would kill to find. The quiet did not last. By the next morning, the video was everywhere. Alex Sterling sat alone in his large, silent house in Bel Air. He held his phone. His thumb moved up, then down. Every screen showed the same thing. Him, laughing. The boy Leo, looking scared. Then Leo's voice, clear and smart, speaking all those languages. Then his own face, turning white with shame. The phone rang in his hand. The screen said, "Michael Cho, investor." Alex took a deep breath and answered, "Alex, what in the world were you thinking?" Michael's voice was tight, no hello. "I wasn't. It was a stupid joke," Alex said, his voice rough. "A joke? The news channels are calling it the cruelty at the Crystal Gala. Our partners are calling me. They are asking if the face of our company is a man who bullies homeless children. I didn't bully him. I just..." Alex's words died. He had seen the video. He knew what it looked like. "You just publicly humiliated a genius kid for fun. It's all anyone is talking about. Fix this, Alex, or we will have to talk about fixing it for you." The call ended. Alex put the phone down. It rang again immediately. He did not answer. He watched the video one more time. He saw the moment his own smile vanished. He saw the boy wrap his arms around himself and whisper about his mother. A sharp pain, like a stomachache but worse, filled Alex's chest. He had thought the boy was nothing, but the boy was someone. Someone with a mother who taught him things, who was now gone. He was not the cool guy anymore. He was the villain. 20 miles away, in Pasadena, Martha Hawthorne sat at her kitchen table. Her computer was open. She had seen the video 3 times. Each time her eyes filled with tears, not for the rich, foolish man, for the boy. "That poor, brilliant child," she said to the empty room. She saw how thin he was. She saw the intelligence in his eyes, and then the fear. She saw him vanish into the night. Martha was a retired teacher. For 30 years, she had looked into the faces of children. She knew the look of a child who needed help. This boy, Leo, was screaming for help without making a sound. She stood up. She moved with a firm purpose. She got her purse and her car keys. She put on a sweater. "And that foolish, foolish man," she muttered, thinking of Alex Sterling. "Someone has to step in." She got in her old car and drove toward downtown Los Angeles. She did not know where to look. She started near the big hotels. She asked street vendors, "Have you seen a boy, about 12, very thin, knows many languages?" Most people shook their heads. One woman selling fruit pointed toward the public library. "Sometimes kids sleep in the doors there," the woman said. Leo was behind the library. It was a spot he used sometimes. The concrete was cold. He pulled his coat tight. He had a piece of bread in his pocket. He took it out and broke it into 6 neat lines on the ground before picking up one piece to eat. He knew about the video. He had heard people talking about it on the street. He kept his head down. Being noticed was dangerous. His mother had told him that. Now everyone had noticed him. He thought of the man from the party, the man's laughing face, then his shocked, white face. Leo felt nothing about him. The man was just another loud, scary person in a world full of them. He finished his bread and curled up smaller, trying to get warm. Martha parked her car and walked. Her heart beat fast. She turned the corner behind the library. And there he was, just a small shape in a brown coat. She approached slowly, not wanting to scare him. "Leo?" she said softly. The boy's head snapped up. His eyes were dark and watchful. He pushed himself back against the wall. "It's okay," Martha said, stopping where she was. She kept her voice gentle, like she used to with nervous students. "My name is Martha. I saw the video. I was a teacher for a very long time. I wanted to see if you were okay." Leo said nothing. He just stared at her mouth, then at her hands. "You must be very cold," Martha said. She did not move closer. "I live not too far from here, in Pasadena. I have a warm house. I have a guest room with a bed that no one uses. I could make you some hot food, no strings attached. You could just be warm and safe for a night." Leo's eyes flickered. The word safe hung in the air. He was so tired. The concrete was so hard and cold. The memory of a soft bed was like a dream. "Why?" he whispered. It was the first word he had spoken to her. "Because every child deserves to be safe," Martha said simply. and I have a house that is too quiet." Leo looked at her for a long time. He looked at her kind eyes. He looked at her hands, which were still at her sides. She was not trying to grab him. She was just offering. He was so tired. Slowly, very slowly, he nodded. Martha let out a breath she didn't know she was holding. "Okay," she said. "My car is right around the corner. We can go whenever you're ready." Leo stood up. He brushed the dirt from his coat. He walked toward her but stopped an arm's length away. Together they walked to the car. He did not know it, but his quiet yes had just pulled him into the center of a gathering storm. And in a different city, a powerful, angry man named Javier Ortega was watching the same video on a different screen, his eyes turning cold with recognition. The hot water of the bath felt strange. Leo sat perfectly still in Martha's tub, watching the dirt from his skin and coat swirl in the water. He had not been in a real bath for a very long time. Clean was a feeling he had almost forgotten. "I found some of my grandson's old clothes," Martha's voice came through the door. "They're right outside the door when you're ready. Take all the time you need." When he came out, dressed in soft, clean pajamas that were a little too big, the smell of food hit him. Soup, grilled cheese. His stomach made a loud noise. Martha pretended not to hear. She placed the bowl and plate on the kitchen table. Sit. Eat as much as you want." Leo sat. He looked at the grilled cheese sandwich. He picked it up and carefully broke it into 4 equal squares. He lined the squares up neatly beside his bowl before picking one up to eat. Martha watched this ritual but said nothing. She just sipped her tea. He ate everything. He drank 2 full glasses of water. The warm food and the clean clothes made his eyes feel heavy. "You look like you could sleep for a week," Martha said gently. "The guest room is right down the hall. It's all made up." Leo stood. "Thank you," he said, his voice quiet. He walked to the room. It was small and neat. There was a bed with a blue quilt. A window looked out into a dark garden. It was the safest place he had been in 6 months. He got into the bed. It was so soft he almost sank away. Martha appeared in the doorway. "Good night, Leo. The door doesn't lock. You can leave it open if you like." He nodded. She began to turn away. "She taught me more than languages," Leo said suddenly. The words came out in the dark. Martha turned back. She leaned against the doorframe, waiting. "My mother. She taught me how to be quiet, how to hide, how to know if someone is following you." He stared at the ceiling. "We were always running." "From what?" Martha asked, her voice low. "From a man, a bad man." Leo pulled the quilt tighter. "His name is Javier Ortega. He is my father." Martha's breath caught. She stayed very still. "My mother took something from him, a small book, a notebook. She said it was full of secret numbers and codes. She said it was very important. She hid it before she went away. She taught me languages so I could read it, so I could understand it. She said one day, that book might keep me safe from him." The room was silent for a moment. "Do you have this notebook, Leo?" Martha asked. "No." He shook his head against the pillow. "I don't know where it is. I only have this." He reached under the pillow and pulled out the old, dirty coat. From a hidden inside pocket, he took out a single small key on a plain metal ring. He held it up. "This was hers. I don't know what it opens." Martha looked at the key. It looked like a key for a locker or a small box. "Okay," she said softly. "That's okay. You don't have to know right now." "He's very powerful," Leo whispered, "and he gets very angry. If he finds me, he will want the book." Martha walked over and sat on the edge of the bed. She did not try to hug him. She just looked at him with her kind teacher's eyes. "You are safe here, Leo, for as long as you need. You don't have to tell me anything else until you're ready." Leo looked at her. He saw no lie in her face. He gave a small, slow nod. He put the key back in the coat and pushed it under his pillow. "Sleep now," Martha said. She stood up and turned off the light. She left the door wide open, a rectangle of light from the hall falling across the floor. Leo closed his eyes. The bed was soft, the house was quiet. But under his pillow, his hand rested on the rough fabric of his old coat. He knew this safety was just a pause. His mother had run from Javier Ortega for years. The man would never stop looking. And now, because of a stupid video, the whole world knew where to find the language genius boy. Leo's secret was not safe anymore. He knew deep down that the running was not over. It had only just begun. The video played on a large, thin screen mounted on a dark wall. The room was in a tall building in Las Vegas. It was very quiet. The only sounds were the audio from the video and the soft hum of air conditioning. Javier Ortega sat in a large chair. He did not move. He watched the boy on the screen. He watched the boy's scared eyes. He listened to the boy's voice speaking language after language. Javier's face showed nothing, but his right hand held a silk cloth. He slowly, carefully cleaned his glasses. He did this 3 times. The video ended. The room stayed silent for a full minute. "Again," Javier said. His voice was low and calm. The woman standing near the desk, her name was Anya, tapped a button. The video played again. Javier watched. This time, he only looked at the boy, at the shape of his eyes, at the way he held his mouth when he spoke French. He saw Elena in every movement. A hot, tight feeling filled Javier's chest. It was not love, it was possession. The video ended a second time. "The source?" Javier asked, placing his glasses back on. "It is from a charity event last night at the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles. It is now on many news channels and internet sites. It is very popular," Anya said. "The boy's name?" "They are calling him Leo, no last name. He is homeless. The police reports from last night say he gave no information. He walked away from the hotel and disappeared." Javier nodded slowly. He stood up and walked to the window. He looked out at the bright lights of the Las Vegas Strip. "Leo," he said. It was not a question. Elena always liked sentimental names. He turned back to Anya. "The man, the one laughing. Who is he?" "Alex Sterling. He made a phone application called LinkUp. He is wealthy. He is now receiving very bad publicity for this." Javier waved a hand. Alex Sterling was not important. He looked back at the frozen image on the screen. His son, his property, speaking to a room full of fools. "He taught him well," Javier said, almost to himself. "All those languages, she was preparing him. She told him about the book. I know she did." He turned, his eyes now sharp and focused. "He has it, or he knows where it is." "The notebook?" Anya asked. "Of course the notebook." Javier's voice stayed low, but it was now like ice. "She stole it from me. It has codes, very important codes, numbers that can open many doors. Doors to my competitors' money, doors to their secrets. Without it, I am inconvenienced. With it, I am unstoppable. And my son has it." He walked back to his desk. He pressed a button on his phone. "Ricky, Carl, come in now." 2 men entered the room. They were both big. They wore simple, dark clothes. They did not speak. Javier looked at them. "You've seen the video?" The man named Ricky nodded. "Yes, sir. The boy in the video is my son. His name is Leo. He is in Los Angeles. He is with a homeless population, or he was last night. He has something that belongs to me, a small black notebook. You will go to Los Angeles. You will find him." "And when we find him?" Carl asked. "You will bring him to me. You will be gentle with him. Do not damage him. He is my son," Javier said. He took his glasses off and began to clean them again with the silk cloth. "But you will get my notebook. He will tell you where it is. If he does not want to tell you, you will persuade him. But he must be able to travel. Do you understand?" Both men nodded. "Yes, sir." "Good. Leave now. Find him. Every hour that book is loose in the world is a problem for me. Go." The 2 men turned and left the room quickly. Javier looked at the frozen video on the screen one more time. He looked at Leo's face. "You look like your mother," he whispered. "But you are my blood, and you have my things." He tapped a key on his computer. The video disappeared, replaced by a map of Los Angeles. The search had begun. Hundreds of miles away, in a quiet house in Pasadena, Leo was sleeping in a soft bed, a key hidden under his pillow. He did not know his father was now watching. He did not know that 2 men were already getting into a dark car, their eyes set on finding one brilliant homeless boy. The big house in Bel Air felt like a prison. Alex Sterling sat on his expensive white sofa. He had not changed his clothes from the day before. The television was off. His phone was finally silent because he had turned it off. He kept seeing the boy's face, Leo's face, the fear turning into quiet intelligence. He heard his own laugh, loud and cruel, on a loop in his mind. A key turned in the front door. Alex looked up. His lawyer, David Chen, walked in. David carried a leather folder. He looked at Alex sitting in the dim room and sighed. "You look terrible," David said. "I feel terrible," Alex replied. His voice was flat. David sat in a chair across from him. "The board is having a call at 3 o'clock. They're going to vote on asking for your temporary step down from a public role. The investors, they are very nervous." Alex just nodded. He didn't care about the board. "Have you seen the video, David?" "Of course I've seen it. Everyone has seen it." "What did you see?" Alex asked, looking at him directly. David shifted in his chair. "I saw a public relations disaster of the highest—" "No," Alex interrupted. "What did you see *me* do?" The lawyer was quiet for a moment. "I saw you mock a homeless child for sport." The words hit Alex like a physical blow. He flinched. "Yeah," he whispered. "That's what I did." He stood up and walked to the window. The sun was shining on his perfect lawn. It felt wrong. "I have to find him, David." "Find who? The boy?" "Yes, Leo. I have to find him." "Alex, no. That is the worst possible idea. Any contact right now looks like more manipulation. It looks like damage control. It will make things worse." "I don't care how it looks," Alex said, his voice rising. He turned around. "I did a terrible thing. To a person. A kid who has nothing. He has no home. His mother is gone. And I made him a joke for my friends." His eyes were bright with unshed tears. "I have to fix it. For real." David watched him. He had known Alex for years. He had seen him be careless, arrogant, and rude. He had never seen him like this. "What does fix it mean?" "It means I give him the money, the $1 million, for real, not a joke. I set up a trust fund, so he can have a future, so he can go to school, be safe. He's a minor, a homeless minor with no known guardian. It's a legal nightmare," David said, but his tone was softer now. "Then we find a way. You're my lawyer. Figure it out." Alex ran a hand through his hair. "But first, I have to find him, and I have to apologize." To his face, David studied him. He slowly opened his leather folder. "If you are serious, you don't look for him yourself. You hire someone, a professional." "A private investigator," Alex said. "Yes, a discreet one. They find the boy, they confirm his location, and then we approach very, very carefully, with a social worker perhaps, with a solid legal plan." Alex walked back and sat down. He leaned forward, his elbows on his knees. "Okay, do that. Hire the best one. Today, right now." David took out his phone. "I know a woman. Her name is Gwen Reyes. She is very good and she is quiet. She used to work for the police." He started typing a message. "Tell her it's urgent. Tell her I don't care what it costs," Alex said. "I will." David sent the message. He looked at Alex. "And what will you do?" Alex looked at his hands. They were clean and manicured. He thought of Leo's small, dirty hands. "I will practice," he said quietly. "I will practice what I'm going to say to him. I am sorry is a start, but it's not enough. I need to find the words that are enough." David nodded and put his phone away. "I'll call you when Gwen has news." He stood to leave. At the door, he paused. "For what it's worth, Alex, this is the first real thing I've seen you do in a long time." When David was gone, Alex sat in the silence. He didn't turn on the TV. He didn't check his phone. He just sat, thinking of a 12-year-old boy somewhere in the city, holding a secret and a key, completely unaware that the man who shamed him was now desperately trying to find him for a very different reason. And he had no idea that two other men, with much darker intentions, were already searching the same streets. Alex's phone rang 2 days later. It was Gwen Reyes, the private investigator. "I found him," she said. Her voice was calm and direct. "He's in Pasadena, at the home of a retired teacher named Martha Hawthorne. She took him in after the video. He's been there since the night after the gala." Alex felt his heart pound. "Is he okay?" "He appears to be. No sign of any other family. It's just the boy and the older woman. The house is small, quiet, a safe neighborhood." "Give me the address," Alex said, already reaching for his car keys. "Mr. Sterling, I must advise caution. This is a fragile situation." "I'm being cautious. That's why I'm bringing my lawyer. Thank you, Gwen." He ended the call and immediately called David. An hour later, Alex's sleek black car pulled up to the curb in front of a small, well-kept house in Pasadena. David sat in the passenger seat, a folder of legal papers on his lap. Alex's hands were sweating. He practiced the words in his head one more time. On the other side of the street, a dark van with tinted windows was parked. Inside, Ricky and Carl watched the fancy car arrive. "Who is that?" Carl mumbled. "Don't know, but that's the house, the old teacher's house," Ricky said. He lifted a small pair of binoculars. Inside the house, Leo was helping Martha dry the lunch dishes. He saw the car first. He froze, the plate in his hand dripping water onto the floor. "Martha," he whispered. Martha turned and looked out the window. She saw the expensive car. She saw Alex Sterling step out, smoothing his jacket. Her face hardened. "You go to your room, Leo. Lock the door." But it was too late. A knock sounded at the front door. Martha wiped her hands on a towel. She walked to the door and opened it, but kept the chain lock on. She looked at Alex through the narrow gap. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice cold. "Miss Hawthorne? My name is Alex Sterling. This is my lawyer, David Chen. We would like to speak with Leo. Please." "He doesn't want to speak with you," Martha said. "I know, and I don't blame him. I need 5 minutes. I need to say I'm sorry, to his face, that's all." Alex's voice cracked on the last word. Martha studied him. She saw the pale face, the eyes that looked tired and sad. She saw the lawyer standing a step behind, looking serious. She was a teacher. She had seen many kinds of regret. This looked like the real kind. Slowly, she closed the door, slid the chain off, and opened it fully. 5 minutes, in the living room. "And you," she pointed at David, "you stay by the door." They stepped inside. Leo stood in the doorway to the kitchen, his body tense, ready to run. Alex saw him and stopped. The boy looked so different. Clean, in clothes that were too big, but his eyes were the same, watchful and afraid. The shame washed over Alex again, hot and sickening. "Hi, Leo," Alex said softly. He didn't move closer. I don't know how to start. What I did to you was cruel. It was wrong. I was trying to be funny for my friends, and I hurt you instead. I am so sorry." Leo said nothing. He just stared at the floor near Alex's shoes. "I want to make it right. The money I promised, the $1 million. It was a joke then, but it's not a joke now. I want to give it to you. For real." Alex gestured to David, who stepped forward with the folder. "We can set up a trust fund," David explained gently. "The money would be for your future, for school, for a home, for whatever you need. It would be safe and managed properly until you are an adult." "Your money isn't an apology, Mr. Sterling," Martha said firmly, crossing her arms. "Your time is. Your changed behavior is." Alex nodded quickly. "You're right. You're absolutely right." He looked back at Leo, and his eyes filled with tears. He did not try to hide them. "I was a foolish man. I am so sorry I made you feel small. You are the smartest person in any room. And I am so sorry." A single tear rolled down Alex's cheek. Leo saw it. He looked from the tear to Alex's pained face. He didn't understand. Why was this man crying? Across the street, Ricky lowered the binoculars. "That's the kid, in the window. That's him." He pulled out his phone and took a picture through the front window. He sent it with a quick text. In Las Vegas, Javier Ortega's phone chimed. He opened the image. He saw his son standing in a sunny living room. He saw the man from the video, Alex Sterling, facing him. Javier's mouth became a thin, hard line. He typed a reply with one finger. "Bring me my son." The house was quiet, but Leo's sleep was not. He was back in a small, dark room. His mother's face was close to his, her eyes wide and urgent. "Listen to me, Leo. If anything happens to me, you remember. The bus station in Phoenix, locker 217, your key opens it." In the dream, he could smell her perfume and the dust of the room. "What's inside?" his dream self asked. "The notebook, the one I took from him, the codes. They are not just numbers. They are a weapon. If your father ever finds you, that notebook is the only thing that can stop him. It is the only thing he is afraid of." Then the dream changed. He saw Javier Ortega's face, calm and smiling, cleaning his glasses with a silk cloth. "You look like your mother," the dream Javier said. "Now give me what is mine." Leo sat up in bed, gasping. The blue quilt was tangled around him. Moonlight came through the window of Martha's guest room. His heart was beating very fast. It wasn't just a dream, it was a memory, his mother's last real instructions. He got out of bed and went to the door. The hall light was off, but a soft glow came from the living room. He walked quietly. Martha was sitting in her armchair, reading a book. She looked up. "Can't sleep?" Leo shook his head. He stood in the doorway, holding his arms. "I remember," he said. Martha put her book down. "What do you remember, honey?" "What my mother told me before she went away." He walked in and sat on the edge of the sofa. "She said there is a bus station in Phoenix, Arizona, a locker. My key opens it. The notebook is inside." Martha leaned forward. "Phoenix? That is far, Leo. That is in another state." "I know, but I have to go." She said the notebook can stop my father. "If he finds me, it's the only thing that can help." His voice was a scared whisper. "The men in the van today, they were looking for me. I know they were." Martha felt a cold fear in her stomach. She had seen the dark van too. She thought it was just a neighbor's car. Now she knew it was not. "Okay," she said softly. "Okay. If you have to go, we will go." "We?" Leo asked. "I am not letting you go alone on a bus to Phoenix, child. What kind of person would I be?" She tried to smile, but her worry showed. "But it is just me, an old woman, and you, a young boy. It is a long drive. It could be dangerous. We need help." Leo looked down at his hands. "We don't know anyone." Martha was quiet for a long time. She thought about the man crying in her living room. She thought about the tears on his face that seemed real. She thought about his big, empty apology and his promise of money. Money was not help, but a strong car was help. A man who wanted to prove he was not a monster. That might be help. "We might know someone," she said slowly. "Someone with a car. Someone who wants very badly to do a good thing." Leo's head snapped up. "Him? No. He is not a good man, Leo. I know that," Martha said. "But today I saw a man who wants to be better, and we are not strong. We need someone who can drive. We need someone who can look less like a target than an old lady and a boy." "He will say no," Leo said. "I don't think he will," Martha said. She stood up and got her phone. She had written David Chen's number on a notepad. She dialed. The phone rang 4 times. A tired, worried voice answered. "David Chen." "Mr. Chen, this is Martha Hawthorne. I need to speak with Alex Sterling. Right now." There was a rustling sound. A minute later, Alex's voice came on, full of sleep and worry. "Miss Hawthorne, is Leo okay?" "He is fine. But we are not safe. We need to leave. We need to go to Phoenix, Arizona. Tonight. And we need your car and your help to get there." There was no hesitation. None. "I'll be there in 20 minutes, Alex said. "What do you need me to bring?" Martha was surprised by the quick answer. "Just your car. And your courage, Mr. Sterling. We might need both." She hung up and looked at Leo. "He is coming." Leo wrapped his arms around himself. He did not trust Alex Sterling. He did not trust any of this. But his mother's voice in the dream was clear. Phoenix. Locker 217. It was the only plan he had. "Go put on your clothes," Martha said gently. "Wear the warm ones, and bring your coat." While Leo went to his room, Martha packed a small bag, a few bottles of water, some fruit, her medicine. She always carried her teacher's kit with a tissue and band-aids. She put that in her purse. It felt like a very small shield against the unknown. She looked out the front window. The street was dark and quiet. The dark van was gone. But she knew it was not gone for good. They were running out of time. The race was about to begin, and they had just asked the unlikest person in the world to be their driver. The car moved fast on the dark highway. The city lights of Los Angeles faded behind them, replaced by the black emptiness of the desert. Leo sat in the back seat, his face pressed against the window. Martha sat beside him. Alex drove, his hands tight on the steering wheel. "How long to Phoenix?" Martha asked, her voice low. 6 hours, maybe more, if we don't stop for long," Alex said. He kept looking in the rearview mirror. "You see something?" Leo asked. It was the first thing he had said since getting in the car. "Maybe. A pair of headlights. They've been back there for a while. Same distance." Alex's voice was tense. No one spoke for a few minutes. They all watched the two tiny points of light in the distance. "Can you go faster?" Martha asked. "I'm already over the speed limit. If a police officer stops us..." Alex didn't finish the sentence. They all knew it would be bad. "Just keep driving," Martha said. She turned to look at Leo. "You should try to sleep." "I'm not tired," Leo said, but his eyes were heavy. The car was quiet except for the sound of the road. Then Alex spoke. "Leo, about the languages. How did you learn? I mean, really learn?" Leo was quiet for so long Alex thought he wouldn't answer. "My mother," he finally said. "She knew them. Many languages. It was her job before. We would practice. It was a game. She said words were tools. They could open doors or lock them." "She was right," Alex said softly. "I'm sorry I made a joke of your tools." "Why are you doing this?" Leo asked, looking at the back of Alex's head. "Why are you driving us?" Alex took a deep breath. "Because what I did was wrong, and when you do something wrong, you have to try to make it right. My whole life I just did things that felt good in the moment. I never thought about who it hurt. I hurt you. I want to help now, not with money, with action." Martha listened. She gave a small, slow nod. She believed he meant it. For now. They drove for 2 hours. The headlights stayed far behind them but never disappeared. Alex pulled off the highway at a small gas station in the middle of nowhere. "We need gas, and we should use the restroom," he said, quickly. While Alex pumped the gas, Martha and Leo went inside the small, bright store. Leo stood by a rack of chips, not touching anything. Martha bought 3 bottles of water and some crackers. A small television behind the counter was on a news channel. The tired-looking clerk was watching it. A woman's face appeared on the screen. It was a reporter. Then, a picture of Alex Sterling flashed next to her. Then a blurry picture of Leo from the gala video. Martha froze. She listened. No comment from Sterling or his representatives about his sudden departure from Los Angeles. Sources close to the billionaire say he may be seeking out the homeless boy, Leo, in an attempt to control the ongoing public relations nightmare. The clerk noticed Martha staring. "Crazy story, huh? That rich guy and the smart kid. Wonder where they all went." Martha forced a smile. "Yes, crazy." She took the waters and crackers, paid with cash, and hurried Leo outside. "They know we're gone," she whispered to Alex as they got back in the car. "It was on the news. They think you're trying to control the story." Alex's face was grim. "That means more people will be looking. Not just whoever is in that van." He looked in the mirror. The headlights were still there, parked at the far end of the gas station lot now, waiting. They got back on the highway. The desert night was huge and dark around them. The headlights followed. "What's in Phoenix, Leo?" Alex asked after a while. "What's in the locker?" "The truth," Leo said, looking out at the dark. "And maybe a way to stop running." They drove the rest of the way in silence, each lost in their own thoughts, a small bubble of light moving through the vast darkness, trailed by another set of lights with much darker intentions. The sky was beginning to turn from black to deep blue when the first signs for Phoenix appeared. The sky was the color of pale gray by the time they found the bus station in downtown Phoenix. It was an old, tired-looking building. A few people sat on benches with bags, waiting for early morning buses. The air was cool and still. Alex parked the car across the street. They all sat for a moment, looking at the station. "Are you sure about this, Leo?" Martha asked softly. Leo nodded. He had the key in his hand. He was rubbing his thumb over its teeth. "Locker 217, she was very clear." "Okay," Alex said. He looked around the quiet street. "Let's be fast." They got out of the car and crossed the street. The inside of the station was quiet and smelled of old coffee and cleaner. A row of gray metal lockers stood along one wall. Leo walked straight to locker 217. His hand was shaking. He looked at the key, then at the small, scratched lock on the locker. "You can do it," Martha whispered, putting a gentle hand on his shoulder. Leo put the key in the lock. It turned with a loud, rusty click. He pulled the small metal door open. Inside was a plain, black notebook, and on top of it, a sealed white envelope with his name written on it in his mother's handwriting. Leo's breath caught. He carefully took out the envelope and the notebook. He held them close to his chest for a second. Then he opened the envelope and pulled out a letter. He began to read it silently, his eyes moving quickly across the page. Alex kept watch, looking at the station entrance. Martha watched Leo's face. She saw his eyes fill with tears. "What does it say, honey?" she asked. Leo's voice was thick when he spoke. She says she is sorry for all the running. She says Javier is not just a bad man. He hurts many people. The codes in this book, they prove the bad things he has done. They can expose him. They can put him in jail. He looked up, his eyes wide with a new fear. She says he will never stop looking for this, or for me. He held the notebook out. It was small with a black leather cover, worn at the edges. Suddenly, the station doors banged open. 3 men walked in quickly. They were the same men from the van, Ricky and Carl and another man. They spread out, blocking the exits. Alex immediately stepped in front of Leo and Martha. "Stay behind me," he said. The men did not move closer. They just stood there, waiting. Then, the main door opened again. A tall man in a dark, expensive coat walked in. He moved calmly, as if he owned the place. It was Javier Ortega. He looked at Alex, then at Martha, and finally at Leo. A small, cold smile touched his mouth. "You look like your mother," Javier said to Leo. His voice was soft and smooth. Leo shrank back, clutching the notebook to his chest. "Give that to me, Leonardo," Javier said, holding out his hand. "It does not belong to you. It belongs to me, and you belong with me. This running is over now." "No," Alex said, his voice louder than he felt. "You're not taking him." Javier's eyes flicked to Alex. "You are the man from the television, the clown. This does not concern you." He nodded to Ricky. Ricky stepped forward and shoved Alex hard. Alex stumbled and fell to the dirty floor. "Alex!" Martha cried out. She bent to help him, but her other hand was in her purse, searching. Javier took another step toward Leo. "The notebook, son, now." Leo was frozen, his back against the cold lockers. In that moment, Martha's fingers found the small phone Alex had given her. Her thumb felt for the special button on the side, the panic button. She pressed it down hard and held it. Nothing happened immediately. Javier was now only an arm's length from Leo. "Do not make this difficult. We are going home." Then, far away at first, but getting louder very fast, came the sound of police sirens. Lots of them. Red and blue lights began to flash across the front windows of the bus station. Javier's calm face twisted into anger. He looked at Martha, then at the phone in her hand. "Foolish woman," he hissed. Ricky and Carl looked toward the doors, unsure. "Get the boy, now," Javier ordered, lunging forward to grab Leo himself. The station doors burst open. Shouting filled the air, and in the chaos of noise and flashing lights, Leo saw his chance. He ducked under Javier's reaching arm. He clutched the black notebook tight against his body, and he ran. He did not look back at Martha or Alex. He ran past the confused men, through a side door marked exit, and out into the cool, brightening morning of a city he did not know, the weight of his mother's secrets heavy in his hands. The world became a blur of sirens, shouting men, and the slap of his own feet on the pavement. Leo ran. He did not look back. He turned the first corner he saw, then another. He ran until his lungs burned and his legs shook. Finally, he ducked into a narrow alley between 2 tall buildings and collapsed behind a large, smelly trash bin. He hugged his knees, trying to be silent, trying to breathe quietly. He still clutched the black notebook in one hand and his mother's letter in the other. Back at the bus station, chaos was turning into control. Police officers filled the space. They held Ricky and Carl against a wall, putting handcuffs on them. Another officer was talking to a very angry Javier Ortega. "My son was just kidnapped by that man," Javier said, pointing at Alex, who was now standing with Martha. "That woman helped. I came here to get him back and they set off some alarm." Alex's face was pale with fury. "That's a lie. He's the one who took my son. He's dangerous." A police officer, a woman with a serious face, held up her hand. "Everyone stop. We will sort this out." She looked at Alex and Martha. "You two, come with me." She led them to a quieter corner of the station. "What is your relation to the boy?" she asked. We are his guardians," Martha said firmly. "We are helping him. That man, Javier Ortega, is his father. He is a dangerous man. He wants to hurt Leo. He wants to take a notebook Leo has." The officer wrote this down. "And the boy? Where is he now?" He ran, Alex said, his voice full of worry. When the siren started, he ran out that door. We have to find him. He's alone. He's 12. We have units looking in the area, the officer said. But you need to tell me everything, from the beginning. Across the room, Javier was also talking to an officer. His voice was calm and reasonable now. A misunderstanding, officer. A terrible misunderstanding. I have been looking for my son for months. He ran away. When I saw he was with these strangers on the news, I came to get him. They became violent. I was only trying to protect my child. He showed the officer a fake document from his pocket. It looked like an official custody paper. We will need to verify this, sir, the officer said. Of course, my lawyer is on his way, Javier said smoothly. He looked over the officer's shoulder. He saw Alex and Martha talking urgently with the female officer. His eyes were cold. He had lost the boy for now, but not the game. One of his other men, who had not been arrested, stood near the door. Javier gave a tiny nod toward Alex and Martha. The man nodded back and slipped outside. We have to go look for him ourselves, Alex whispered to Martha. The police will put us in a room for hours. Leo is out there, scared, with that book. Your father's men will be looking too. Martha agreed. She turned to the female officer. Officer, may I use the restroom, please? The officer pointed. Over there. Be quick. Martha went to the restroom. Alex watched the main door. He saw Javier watching him. After 2 minutes, Martha came out. She walked straight past the officer and toward the side exit Leo had used. Hey, ma'am, the officer called. Now Alex, Martha said. Alex didn't think. He just ran. He followed Martha out the side door into the alley. They heard shouting behind them, but they didn't stop. They ran until they were 2 blocks away, then slowed to a fast walk. He could be anywhere, Alex said, breathing hard. He looked up and down the busy morning street. He's smart. He's scared. He will hide, but he will also want to move, Martha said. She was trying not to cry. We need to think like him. He has the notebook. He has the letter. What would his mother tell him to do? Alex thought. She taught him languages to read the book, to use it. He can't use it hiding in an alley. He needs to understand it. He needs help. Martha's eyes lit up. A library or a place with computers. Somewhere quiet and public. Somewhere he can think. They looked at each other, a new plan forming. They had lost Leo, but they knew him. They knew his mother had taught him to be smart and resourceful. They had to believe he would go to ground, and they had to figure out where. We need to find a map of the city. Find all the libraries, all the bus stations, all the places a smart kid might go, Alex said. They started walking, 2 unlikely allies in a strange city, searching for a boy who held the key to a dangerous man's downfall. Behind them, the police were dealing with Javier Ortega, and somewhere in the maze of Phoenix, Leo was opening his mother's letter again, reading her final words and deciding his next move, completely alone.